This morning, 17 American tourists landed in the United States on a government-chartered aircraft. They paid up to $22,000 each for a luxury cruise to Antarctica. Two of them were in biocontainment units on the flight home. One tested positive for a deadly virus with no cure. One was showing mild symptoms. Three people didn't come home at all. And here's the question nobody's asking. When a cruise company takes you to one of the most remote places on Earth and people die, who's actually responsible? April 1st, 2026, the MV Hondius set sail from Argentina in one of the southernmost cities in the world. On board, 150 passengers from 23 countries. Wealthy retirees, bird watchers, adventure travelers, people who had saved for years for this trip. Tickets cost between $15,000 and $24,000 each. This was supposed to be the trip of a lifetime. 10 days in, someone died. A 70-year-old Dutch man. He experienced a fever, abdominal pain, then he was gone. His wife had been caring for him. She got off the ship at a remote island called St. Helena. She deteriorated on the flight to Johannesburg. She died at the emergency room. A third passenger, a German woman, developed a fever on April 28th. She died on board on May 2nd. And here's something you need to know. The first death happened April 11th. The World Health Organization wasn't told until May 2nd, 3 weeks later. By then, 30 passengers had already left the ship, scattered across the world, boarded flights, and gone home, taking whatever was on that ship with them. So what exactly killed these people? It's called the Andes Hantavirus. Most hantaviruses can only spread from rodents to humans, contact with their urines, droppings, saliva. The Andes virus is different. It's the only hantavirus on Earth that can spread from human to human. The two Dutch passengers who first got sick had spent months touring Argentina and Chile before boarding, birdwatching, hiking, visiting areas where the virus lives in rodents. They had no symptoms when they boarded. Why would they? The incubation period is 1 to 8 weeks. By the time they fell ill, they had been living in close quarters with 150 other people for days. There's no antiviral, no cure. Doctors can support your body, but they can't stop the virus. The CDC called this a level 3 emergency. Patients hospitalized in South Africa, the Netherlands, Germany, Spain, Switzerland, St. Helena. A flight attendant who briefly interacted with one passenger hospitalized with symptoms. Here's where it gets important for everyone watching, because this isn't just a tragic story. This is a story about what happens when a cruise company takes your money, sends you somewhere dangerous, and people die. When you book a cruise, any cruise, you sign a passenger ticket contract. It's usually dozens of pages and nobody reads it. Buried inside, clauses that are specifically designed to protect the company, not you. What do those clauses say? They cap how much you can sue for, sometimes just a few $1,000s, regardless of what happened. They require you to file a suit within 1 year, sometimes 6 months. They require lawsuits to be filed in a specific court, sometimes in a foreign country. And yeah, good luck with that. And force majeure clauses, events beyond their control, they're not responsible. Here's one that really gets me. The medical staff on many cruise ships are independent contractors, not employees of the cruise line. So if the ship's doctor misses the diagnosis, the cruise company may not be liable. So this begs another question. Is any of this illegal? No. Does it mean families who lost someone on the ship may get nothing meaningful? Yes. Happens all the time. You might be thinking, surely they get held accountable eventually. Well, sometimes, sort of. After COVID hit the Ruby Princess cruise ship in 2020, passengers sued. Courts found negligence, but the legal fight took years. After the Carnival Triumph engine fire in 2013, passengers sued for $5,000 a month for life. The case dragged on. After COVID devastated Holland America's Zaandam, a class action was filed on behalf of over 1,000 passengers. Do you know what most of those passengers discovered? Getting real compensation from a cruise line is a nightmare. The contracts are built to make suing not worth it for most people. The lawyers make the money. The cruise company settles for less than anyone deserves. A confidentiality agreement gets signed and nothing changes. Could it have been prevented? This is the question that we'll be asking in court. The two Dutch passengers had been in South America for months, birdwatching in areas where hantavirus lives. Did ocean-wide expeditions screen passengers before boarding? Were crew trained to recognize early symptoms? The problem is, early symptoms are fever, muscle aches, and nausea. On a ship in the South Atlantic, that could be anything. By the time anyone knew what they were dealing with, 3 people were dead and 30 passengers had already left. Is that negligence? Is that just the brutal reality of operating in one of the most remote places on Earth? A court will decide. What we know is this. 3 people paid tens of thousands of dollars for an adventure. They're now gone, and their families are now navigating a legal system designed to protect the company that took them there. Right now, the MV Hondius is docked in the Canary Islands, passengers flying home on military aircraft. One American tested positive on the flight, another showing symptoms. The ship will be disinfected, Oceanwide will conduct a review, lawyers will file suits. If you're planning a cruise, read the passenger ticket contract before you book, specifically the liability caps, the statute of limitations, the jurisdiction clause. What you find might change your mind. If you or someone you know is on the MV Hondius, contact your state health department now. Monitor symptoms for up to 45 days after exposure. 3 people went to Antarctica and didn't come home. The company that took them there has a contract that says a lot about what happens next. And you should know what's in it before you board anything. Drop a comment. Did you know cruise lines have this level of legal protection? Subscribe to Profit Puzzles, new video every week.